Welcome back to another episode of Boom or Bust. I'm your host Terry, and today we're continuing our All-Pro film session series with Tyreek Hill from the Kansas City Chiefs. He's got a lot of plays, so we're gonna try to get through these. But usually I talk about a player and the draft process or whatnot before I get into it. But as most of people should know, or if they don't remember, Tyreek Hill was not a big time draft prospect when he came out. And so as a result, that wasn't somebody that was on my radar, especially, when you have so many players to look at. But anyway, point being, point being that he was a lower round draft pick. And so I didn't know much about him coming out. Yeah, he's a 5th round pick. So he had a lot of issues. He ended up transferring to West Alabama. And then on top of that, he had the issues coming into the league that were with domestic, excuse me. And so, yeah, Tyreek Hill just wasn't a big time prospect by the time the draft came around. So I couldn't tell you much about what I thought about him coming out. I will tell you as a rookie, watching him, one of the easiest things to tell on the field is speed. And so you can see his athleticism and speed. But did I think he would evolve into what he is now? Not really. I mean, especially with the Chiefs at that time, nobody really knew what this offense would end up being. And then especially until this year when we saw Mahomes, we never thought Tyreek Hill could be fully unleashed. So, yeah, Tyreek Hill's a big surprise in the league. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, we're going to go week 17 down. Lot of plays. We're going to look at touchdowns, also some of his running plays, and hopefully we'll be able to get through it all and not have any issues. All right, so Tyreek's here. You kind of to his stance. I don't know, somebody's stance. Pretty sure that's him. So he's in the middle and that trips, going one-on-one just on a simple vert. Beats his man into the end zone. And I did this play, I remember, with Pat Mahomes on his breakdown. But again, the safety's down. So now if I'm the quarterback, I'm already clocking my best guy. Now I'm watching this safety. Safety never even gets anywhere near over to help. And so you basically got one of the fastest players in the league, one-on-one with a corner. And so, yeah, that's an easy decision for a quarterback, I would say. And really wasn't much there. He just flat out beat him in a foot race. All right, so Tyreek Hill's right here on the outside of that bunch. Yeah, not sure. Why do they sometimes they put plays in here that has nothing to do with the player. So it was a touchdown, just wasn't Tyreek Hill's touchdown. All right, so Tyreek Hill's in motion. Motion's back. They give him a handoff. And I mean, it's funny because you remember guys like, what's his name? Went to the Rams. Tavon Austin. You remember guys like that, and especially with the Chiefs. Actually, Chiefs had a long history. You had Black Mamba, D'Anthony Thomas. You had Dexter McCluster. Like all these guys that were like these tweener running back receivers, and they just never worked. And you would think with all this speed and agility, it would work. And you see plays like this for Tyreek Hill. And maybe it's just the creativeness of the current coaching staff, or I'm not sure what. They are much improved O-line as well, but you see these plays work for Tyreek Hill that didn't work for a lot of players of similar, type of style. And so as a result, you'll see him on a number of these reverses and jet sweeps and just getting the athlete in space. And really when he's running, reminds me of Tyreek Cohen. I like to see Tyreek Cohen with more vision, but Tyreek Hill is really good at understanding his blocks and patient to let him set up, as we can see there. And so he's not just trying to run pure speed past everybody, you'll see he knows when to gauge down. He knows how to navigate the block and run like a running back. And so that's a big plus, especially when your coverage is so dictated on worrying about making sure he doesn't blow the top off. All right, so emotions in the backfield here. Delayed pitch. Doesn't get anywhere on that one. Chargers do a good job, and we know they like a lot of speed on their defense. And that defense has only just gotten better. They picked up another good safety. But anyway, in the backfield again, play action. And that's just the outlet. That wasn't a setup screen or anything. You could tell by the way the linemen were blocking. All right, so against the Chargers again, I think this is going to be a good battle going forward. So Tyreek in motion. Jet sweep again. Doesn't get too much. But the thing about that is that's something that you have to worry about. And then when it does hit, you got the fakes off of it too. And so really you just got a guy that's a weapon. Dumps it off. And able to use the athleticism. Did they give him the touchdown? They didn't give him the touchdown, but hell of an effort as they're in the white zone. And we'll see up close just how much speed it takes to get to that corner. I don't know. He was close. But anyway, you got guys like that, like Antonio Brown, where they can become decoys. They can become deep threats, and they can become, gadget players. So it's just so much that could happen. All right, so let's see how Tyreek Hill gets this wide open. And what you have some misdirection. So you got a bunch set. Well, now a stack set. Corner falls. So they tried to switch. Run the inside out. There's a reroute, which was nice. But it kind of takes Tyreek to where he was going. Corner falls. Everybody else was in position. Yeah. That reminds me of Colts versus Bears in the Super Bowl. Corner falls, receivers wide open. So not much you can do there. Still, with a one-on-one shot, I would have liked I would have liked my odds if it was one-on-one. Pretty sure he got a flag for taunting, which I think it's kind of stupid. But anyway, Tyreek has to be here. Inside on his trips. Work in the middle of the field. And we've seen this with a number of players. And you want to watch that. Like, people talk about where they line up being important, and it is, because most of the time when you got guys lining up in this slot, like this deep slot, more times than not, they're going to attack the seam or they're going to attack the middle of the field. And so that's what we've seen, at least in the film this year, a number of times when they put these receivers in those positions. And so I'm not sure who was covering him, but he gives him a little fake inside, which you got to protect. It's just tough. And honestly, I think Tyreek Hill can run routes, but it's just his overwhelming athleticism that worries people. Because he could get the ball and just turn it into something. You got the defense looking back like it was somebody else's fault. I don't know. But all I know is you have to really be on your heels against Tyreek in space. So they fake one way, reverse the other way. And again, got an athlete in space. And I talked about the ball handling before of Pat Mahomes. Good block by Kelsey. Lets him get to the edge. Big yards. All right, so next play, inside the red zone. Tyreek's inside again. And a simple curl route. And you know, that's interesting to me because you're in the red zone. I've said before, it's harder to throw because there's less space. To me, if I'm defending, he doesn't have much space to go vertical. So he can push vertical. I'm playing underneath this because he can push vertical. We got guys vertical. This first defender should have been the one playing underneath. And so Pat Mahomes makes a gutsy throw, but he has the velocity to get it in there. And I just see guys worried about his speed when there's not enough field to worry about his speed. Like that linebacker, 57, he's going to speed turn, flip his hips to run with him. And it's like, why? There's people over the top. And so, you know, but that's again the threat of a speed receiver. So against the Browns, going into the red zone, Tyreek Hill's right here. Do a fake, a reverse. Kelsey pins on the edge. If the receiver would have kept blocking, that would have been a tutty. We'll get the end zone view. And it'll be interesting to see what type of edge they get. Because the thing is, you had Kareem Hunt back then. And Kareem Hunt was, you know, really good between the tackles. So now I'm wondering if they'll be able to have enough presence between the tackles to make defenses, you know, not cheat outside to the edge. So in the backfield, we get a straight handoff. And they just let him be a running back. And again, it'll be interesting to have the conversation of why he succeeds where guys like Tavon Austin and those guys failed. And so motion to the backfield turns into a speed option with Tyreek. Defense does a good job. And you got to understand, like, if you see Tyreek Hill on the outside that wide, more likely than not, he's motioning inside the other way. Because from what we've seen, they keep him in the slot a lot so he could threaten that middle of the field. I'll be interested to see if we see any plays with him winning on the outside. So in the slot again, in this trips. Some type of busted play. I believe they wanted to do a screen to the right. Or no, they wanted a handoff. So that was a fake, kind of like a bubble. It wasn't really a bubble, but that was more like a fake motion. They were going to hand off and go the other way. But Mahomes dropped the ball, stays aware, makes a play. So we'll see. Yeah, Mahomes drops the handoff. Man, that's a hell of a play by Mahomes. All right, so next play is fourth quarter. Backed up. Motion. Jet sweep. Defense was ready. Still almost gets the edge, but defense was ready on that play. All right, the Patriots. I honestly don't remember this game. That might be one I have to go back and just rewatch. So Tyreek Hill out of the backfield. Does his best to get some yards. Makes the first guy miss. Just a scat back. Just kind of one of those, backyard football best athlete type dudes. Just get him the ball and let him try to make somebody miss. All right, so inside the red zone, Tyreek Hill's right here, third in the trips. Again, look for the middle or the seam. And he goes in across the middle, kind of like a wide post. Not really an over route. So let's see here. Safety and go on one-on-one. Honestly, I'm not sure what the single safety is doing. He's not really helping anything. He's just kind of looking, staring there. I mean, yeah, that's across the field, but it was really no threat. He was just kind of standing in green grass. And so that's one-on-one against Tyreek Hill. And again, you're in the island. You don't really know where he's going. So you got to be able to go outside, inside, vertical. And yeah, McCourty's not the athlete that Hill is. So as Shaq would say, barbecue chicken. But it's interesting to me, and I said this in the last film session, how many of these top receivers just got solo matchups. So here we got Tyreek Hill. And it looks like another broken play. It looks like they want to do some type of rub route. Yeah, they wanted to do a rub route for Kareem Hunt. And I don't know if Mahomes adjusted to Tyreek Hill or Tyreek Hill called a bad pass. Let's see. And I hate pick plays, rub routes. I hate them. Yeah, I think Mahomes was just making a heads-up play. And so was Tyreek Hill. Wow, they got the zoom up on that one. So yeah, Patriots game still. Tyreek Hill's right here in the stack. And he is flying. See, now that's what once again, and he takes it to the house. I don't know who 21 is, but that was bad. Because, this time, you see the man. There's no excuse. You see him. You're looking at him. Why'd you just stop? He's running that way. You knew he was running that way. You're looking at him run this way. You turn, you see him. Okay, he's going this way. I'm going to just stop. And then gets beat on the angle after he catches it. So tremendous speed. And again, it's not a lot of route running going on by Tyreek Hill. It's just him running. And I don't know if that's Harmon or Harmon or whatever, whoever that is. But the man makes a great catch. Doing a 360. Lands and still beats you to the edge. So, I mean, if anybody came in here not knowing Tyreek Hill's a tremendous athlete, I'll tell you one of the biggest secrets about his game is his athleticism. So we do a reverse. Good blocking setup. And again, understanding what the blocks are. Ends up going down. But understands what the blocks are. Isn't just trying to outrun everybody. Against the Broncos. Inside on the trips. Motions to the backfield. Orbit around. So we got, I wouldn't even say an RPO. Just kind of a fake to a bubble play. Didn't really work. But you see how creative they are with them. Tyreek in the backfield. Give him the ball and a little outside play. Doesn't get much. So actually teams did a pretty good job on these Tyreek Hill plays for the most part if they weren't reverses. And so Hill is on the outside on that play. And he wins. So let's see that. So on the outside, manned up. And that's tough. That's Artie Burns, but that's tough. He wants to go outside. Let him go outside. Use that sideline as your friend. And then he stacks the corner. So what that means is he gets right on top of him. And so right now, Artie Burns is right behind him. He's not in his hip. He's just right behind him in a straight line. And that's just poor angle from Artie Burns. But we saw off the release. I mean, he's a shorter guy, smaller guy. You might want to attack him with a jam, but force the issue for him to go outside. That guy, I mean, Barnes was flat-footed, didn't really get a hand on him. He's gone. And so definitely a good release by Tyreek Hill. Nothing special in the route running department, but good ability to get off the line. So we got a punt return. And we're almost to the end of this, actually. And he's a pretty good punt returner, too. That's how it all started out. And he's gone. I mean, I don't want to say he's better than Devin Hester, but he's a really good returner. I would have to see him do it on kickoffs, but kickoffs aren't the same like they used to be. So we'll see it from the end zone view. Gunner gets down there. Then it's just a race to the edge. Finds the wall. Just like you set it up in practice. The wall was to the left. He got left. And then the defense got left. I'm sorry, I had to. That was funny. All right, so Tyreek Hill's here. He's going to motion. You could tell because he was just staring at the quarterback. Motions to the outside to the numbers. Just does a little over route. And that, I mean, honestly, when you got a good speed receiver, there's not much a defense can do because you got to play off enough. Well, he's covering nothing, so this isn't a good example. But you got to play off enough to give yourself cushion because you know how fast he is. And then when that happens, you just roll him over to underneath the coverage. And then to get the ball in the hand and then let him go. 26 already gave up. I don't know who that is, but that's sad. That was sad all the way around. He was just like, yeah, I'm not going to catch him. And so, big time play there. Making the defense look bad when they make a mistake. Charges again. Motion by Tyreek Hill from the inside. Look at how he breaks down. Just on the motion, just how much agility and athleticism he has. But then it get it to him on the outside. Makes a little play. Picks up some good yards. And so, again, he was labeled as a flex, which I'm not sure that All-Pro needs to have that position. But I'm guessing that just means people, I don't know what it means to be honest, but I'm guessing that'd be for people that do some running and some catching. However, not everybody is going to be like that every year. So if, Tyreek Hill's not playing next year, then who's a flex? But you might be able to put a running back there. I'm not sure if it works like fantasy football. But that being said, he was put there for his ability to do multiple things. So I don't know if a Christian McCaffrey would count because he's in the backfield a lot, but that's the only guy I could think of. Alvin Kamara, of course, but none of those guys are real receivers. All right, so fake pop pass, that's easy. Little misdirection, or a lot of misdirection, really. And you just let him get to the edge. And I think some people might mistake, like, he's just a guy that's going to run to the edge and that's it. But as I pointed out earlier, I think he's actually a good runner. And as a punt returner, you got to have vision. So, all right, so that's it for Tyreek Hill. I think we got through everything, actually. But yeah, interesting stuff. All pro, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say I don't think he's all pro status, as I mentioned before with some other receivers, but just through this video, he doesn't do a whole lot except be an athlete. And he's great at it. He's an elite athlete, and I think Mahomes has definitely unlocked his potential. But that's the thing. Had you had an average or above average quarterback, I don't see big numbers for Tyreek Hill. Had you put Tyreek Hill out there on the island, is he going to win every time against better corners? I don't think so. Or I don't know, but I don't think so. So he plays a lot in the slot. He's able to run the ball pretty nicely on gadget plays, straight up run plays. He wasn't super effective. Again, tremendous athlete. Pro Bowl type, yes. All pro, no. Just because I don't know if flex is a position that should be there. And so if you're just talking about straight up receivers, I would not take him over some of these other guys. So that's just me. Go to the comment section. Let me know what you think about Tyreek Hill. Share it around, get the conversation started. Thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you for listening.